Hi everybody, it's Sina again from New York City, and today I prepared a list of you, not of you, a list for you of 7 weird things in New York City, at least from European eyes. I'm originally from Norway, so this is seen with Norwegian eyes. And the first thing on the list is the public bathrooms in this city. They have gaps in them. They look so old. Even new ones, they follow the same style. If you live in New York and, even if you're not European, I am pretty sure that you agree with me. What's up with the public bathrooms? I'll put some pictures here so you can see what I mean, but it doesn't matter if it's the latest renovation at JFK Airport that was just completed or in new office buildings here. There are stalls like public in a private office. It's not a public bathroom, but the message is there are bathroom stalls here, and I don't know why they just can't make it a separate room with the thinnest walls and a nice normal door that you can close. Why can't they? Yeah, instead they have these thin, I don't even want to call it, it's not a wall, but it's like a sliding square on a hinge, and there's cracks in between that, people can see through, and yeah. Locks that aren't, sturdy. It just doesn't make sense. Not sure. It must be really, really a good deal financially for people to keep choosing those kind of bathrooms. Okay. Number 2. Actually, a super weird thing about New York is that even though we are in 2025 and there's a lot of tech innovation going on, the subway is controlled by an old switchboard manually. 85%, I wrote it down so it could be accurate. 85% of the New York City subway system is controlled by an analog means. There's actually a fixed block signal system that a supervisor is sitting someplace, and they are manually needing to switch levers to switch tracks and change signal lights. So if they have to take a bathroom break, it means that certain trains have to switch from express to local while they're on that break. So I feel like that's kind of the charm of New York City, that it's this mix of super old and outdated, charming things, as they say in real estate listings here, and new stuff. But it is a really weird thing about New York, and surprising that it hasn't been upgraded yet. Number 3. People are looking for something. They're looking for something to scream at. If you live here, maybe this will make you laugh too. It's just so hilarious sometimes to be walking along on the street, and then, some kind of misunderstanding happens between a bicyclist and a cab driver, or a pedestrian and a biker, or a pedestrian and a cab driver, and yelling and screaming and hand gestures will ensue. And if you are in a good mood and you're conflict averse, that is definitely weird. Like, why would people seek out to make drama? Number 4. Someone, or actually it's called an attendant, can fuel up your car at the gas station. So this is maybe a special note for European people, or at least people from Norway. Shout out. Gas stations here, opposite to Europe, actually have attendants where you don't even have to leave your car. Attendants just come up to your car after you pull up to the gas station, and then you can tell them if you want them to fill up the tank or if you want them to fill up, to the amount of $10 or whatever it is. So that's a little, you could say, weird or interesting, strange, cool if you're from Europe or someplace in Europe where we don't have that going on. But it's good to tip if you choose that option. You can fill up your own gas too. Step out of the car and do it the other way. But yeah, some people would prefer to just sit and have somebody do it. But then it's nice to make sure you tip them. Number 5, there's lots of dirt in the subway here, which I think is weird. It can count as weird. I don't mean like in the tracks. That's fair. That's in any big city. That's not super high tech. But I'm walking around in the subway stations here and looking up and just thinking to myself, oh my goodness, how old is that layer of black cake that I'm seeing? Like dirt that's like an inch thick. Like, who cleans that? Who's maintaining that? Nobody. It's just yeah, I don't need to rant about that, but it's definitely something you'll notice if you look up from your phone while you're in any subway station here. Number 6, there's a really large amount of high-rise apartments here that sit empty most of the time. People that buy beautiful apartments here of high value, they have multiple homes around the world usually, and that means that there's nobody home. There's so many apartments, especially if you walk around at night and you can see if the lights are on or not. A lot of them are off. A lot of people are not home along Fifth Avenue, along the high rises on okay, I'm back. There was somebody that had to leave the block, so I had to move for them. Anyway, yeah, a lot of empty apartments, and you'll notice if you walk around at night. Number 7, there are piles of trash directly on the street. And I'm not talking about like a little bit. I'm talking about on every single block, mountains of trash. So in other cities, you might have certain places that are designated for trash, and there's containers or there's little spaces in between houses where garbage collection individuals know to go and get the garbage. But here in the city, we don't have that. It's put directly on the street, and your building obviously has trash cans, and you have a trash can in your home, but it's not like a one place on every block where that's the trash area where every building dumps their trash. No, it's directly in front of a specific area in front of that building, and it's only trash bags upon trash bag upon trash bag. So when the trash hasn't been collected yet and you're walking around on the same block, you will definitely notice if you're not from here. If you are, you kind of zone out and you don't really notice it after a while. But I remember I was here with my friend and I asked her, so what did you like about New York? What was different than you'd expected? And she said, it's much more stinky than I thought it would be. So I think I'll leave you with that today. Any questions, comments, definitely write it below the video. My name is Sina. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.